See, sometimes it's hard, Ryan, being superior to every single other person on the planet. It's isolating. And gods should not have to feel that kind of pain.
I think one of the more interesting aspects of Homelander's arc so far is how his position hasn't really changed. He's still the same arrogant, homicidal man-child, the face of the Seven, loved by all but those who really know him. But nevertheless, things are different internally. The second season of The Boys gave itself a particularly difficult task: to break Homelander. But how do you break the man who really cares for nothing but how his adoring public treats him? This is where the character of Stormfront comes in, as she plays several important roles within Homelander's arc, but none more important than the first. She takes away his base. With an artificial, "I'm not like the other corporate stooges" attitude and a kind of unrealistic application of memes, she chips away at his popularity until, at the least in his mind, the public has turned away from him. She questions his authority and even disobeys his orders, all with a flippant attitude that makes even his rage seem pathetic next to it.
18 to 34, 18 to 49, 25 to 54. They all love me.
Well, congratulations.
He's probably still more physically powerful than her, but the social power she wields overwhelms him. I think something very telling can be found in the scene where Homelander imagines destroying a rally after the rally turns against him. Specifically, the slight regret and sadness on his face immediately after the excitement and rage wear off. At his core, while Homelander thinks of himself as above humans and beyond our reach, he's still a human who was raised in a lab by scientists who were terrified of getting close to him. The crowds of screaming fans were probably the first time he's received an unconditional positive interaction with someone, and it's something he never wants to let go of. It's why blackmailing him and threatening his reputation is the most effective way to get him to capitulate. It's the reason that putting him on trial for his crimes, regardless of how impossible a real sentence would be to carry out, is in any way effective. People say Homelander doesn't have a kryptonite. I think his kryptonite is staring us in the face, though it wouldn't really help in a fight against him. Without his adoring fans, Homelander is forced to seek his validation in his more personal relationships, be it by trying to control people.
Maeve here is a strong, proud lesbian with a beautiful girlfriend, Elena.
Where's Elena?
Or by trying to form actual relationships with people like his son Ryan.
We're gods. Son, we can do anything, and no one can stop us. You and me can share it together.
And once again, Stormfront, as the equality and power that once represented her trying to take over his position in the Seven, now represents her being elevated to a level where he can see her as an equal.
Don't be a pussy, laser my fucking tits.
So what does Homelander do when he loses the love of the public? He tries to seek solace in finding love in personal relationships, and it didn't go well for him.
You could not possibly understand. I was raised the same way as him. That kid doesn't know anything about anything. When he sees the outside world, he is going to panic.
The artificiality in his own life is why he's so adverse to letting Ryan be raised in Vaught's enclosed space. He doesn't want his son to grow up alone like he did, and while Becca is there for Ryan, Homelander will not accept her for two reasons. One is that, even with her raising him, Ryan is still being cooped up as Vaught's assets, isolated until he can be used. And two, she doesn't support the use of his powers, which to Homelander would be part of his defense against people who seek to hurt him.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was in a crowd.
Bother you?
I took off. Flew away. Maybe next time you'll fly away. Maybe with me?
as well as an integral part of himself that he passed down to his child. Could you imagine the woman raising your child trying to erase the part of you that is within him? Homelander sees Ryan as an equal who he wants to provide with the relationship he never had. But the problem with Homelander's attempt to raise his son is that he wants to push Ryan to be just like him, but without the years of emotional abuse that molded him into a psychopath. He doesn't want his son to be alone, but he also wants him to have the coping mechanism of resorting to affirming his inherent superiority to regular humans.
See, sometimes it's hard, Ryan, being superior to every single other person on the planet. It's isolating. And God should not have to feel that kind of pain. Is what we are, Ryan.
It's a contradiction that is born from Homelander's own problems. Homelander could kill everyone on Earth, but he'll be alone again. He desperately wants to be loved by others, but he insists on seeing them as beneath him in case they don't love him back, because then their opinions cease to matter. Insert him calling people mud people.
You've been helping these fucking mud people to go against us.
No.
Shut your fucking mouth, young lady.
This personality means that on some level, every actual personal relationship he has is tainted by both knowing he could destroy them and being ready to do so, but also seeking their validation. And betrayal is the worst thing you can do to him. So when the series ends with everyone he has what could be considered a positive relationship with betraying him or being Schrodinger's Stormfront, i.e. not dead or alive until it's confirmed in the show, he's left with nothing. Nothing but a team full of people he wants to kill and a new coldness in his heart. But he can't do anything, because to act would mean to lose those who still love him, the only ones that could love him, the ignorant masses. But like any good man-child, he just assures himself that he's still the best and does the most outrageous thing he can think of in order to prove his inherent superiority. Because really, it's all he has left, the illusion he doesn't need anyone. An illusion he is all too aware is not true. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it and check out my channel for more content. Thank you and have a good day.